So we make videos sometimes about the mistakes that women make, Ukrainian women make, when they're dating Western guys. And here are 5 mistakes that guys make. Now, we don't say this to shame you. We say this so that you know, and if you are going to be going out dating Ukrainian women, you don't make these mistakes like some other men do.
Right. So the first mistake that guys are doing, they have lack of planning. And this we talk about before they come to meet with the lady and during they arriving. So let's discuss lack of planning. So when the guy is talking to the lady and they sometimes don't know like how exactly to plan their communication because there is like different time difference and you know, schedule difference and everything, and so they have no plan of communication that make it a little bit messy, right? So it get confused because when he's waking up, it's middle of the day for her, she's working. When she's get back from work, he's working, and then when she's going to bed, he's still busy. So it's like a mess. But by working 15 years in this industry, we know exactly that it is working, and we have many couples that got through that. It was challenging, but they got it. So planning of your communication is very important, and as soon as you have a plan, then you have no problem and no confusion. This is number 1 part. And the second part, the most important, is when you're planning your trip. So what is the problem? What's happening when the guys have no plan and they coming to visit lady, for example, in Europe?
Yeah, okay, so there's 2 parts of this. One is how she's going to view you in that leadership role. But just before we get to that, I just want to say that sometimes it's difficult for men to think in that leadership role, right? And it's not because there's something wrong with the guy. It's just that maybe previous to this point here, he was single for many years, he was a bachelor. He didn't really have to plan that much with somebody else. He was just planning his own daily life, what he was doing in the morning, he's going to work, he's putting gas in the car, whatever. So he doesn't really have to think on that other dimension. Also, if he has been in a long relationship, married for 20 years, with a Western woman, then the planning is usually done together, right? There's not that responsibility that's placed on 2 men to say, hey, you get everything sorted, like I'm the woman, you know, it's up to you to do all that stuff and planning and whatever. So he's not used to that either. So then when he goes into dating a Ukrainian woman, he carries those over, not in a bad way, not in a way that's he's trying to do anything bad, he just doesn't know. So it's about having a little switch in your mind that clicks, and you have to be very self-conscious of it at the start until it becomes natural.
I want to correct you on this one, because it's not that Ukrainian lady will not, it's okay, that will not help you to plan. We're now talking about beginning of your relationship, like, because we are helping you to break that ice, and that is happening at the beginning of relationship when you're planning your basically first trip. Even when you're planning your second trip, like you already discussing together. But for the first one, there are certain things that we will discuss that you're talking with the lady about, but the plan needs to be done by you. Not only what you want to do, and that is also very important, but it needs to have plan, because I hear from a lot of guys mentality that I will just play by ear or go by ear, winging it.
Yeah.
So and unfortunately, like, I do like spontaneous things, and like I think it's fun and cool, but unfortunately in Europe I see the difference, because if you don't have an appointment, if you didn't reserve something, if you don't have a reservation, you will not get there. Simply as that. So the restaurant will be booked, like they will not sit you down, because like in Ukraine there was like, yeah, in one table during one evening can be like 10 people. No, here is like one table for one people booked at 7 o'clock. Even if you come at 5, they're not gonna seat you. Or like there's no tickets available at the last moment. So that is really ruining the mood. Like even if you've been in a good mood, you have some ideas, but they will not realize, you will be in a bad mood and she will feel bored. So that is what we're talking about, lack of planning, right?
Yeah, but it also, shows that leadership as well, because at the moment, if she's expecting you to be the leader, because that's why most men want, well, one of the reasons most men want to date Ukrainian women, because she's going to allow you to be the leader, be the man in the relationship. And if you can't show it at the very basic level, which is planning something very simple, she's not going to think, well, okay, he doesn't plan the basic thing, but I'm sure he plans the really difficult things. You know, so it all starts on these small things. So you have to really think about it and get your head into that space. That is what you need to do.
And that is mistake number 2, leadership position. So if not even like because you already start talking about this. So not even talking about like planning the trip, but taking the leadership position in a trip and taking kind of like responsibility for the first trip is very important, because you qualifying the lady by your standards and your criteria. But in this video, we're talking more about like what criteria our ladies are looking for to qualify you. And so if you have no plans, or if you're taking this leadership position, but you only do whatever you want to do, because I know that like guys, our clients, they always advise with me, so that is our advantage, that they can always message me, because we have a guy who they were going to Poland, and he wanted to go to some or Germany, like some place where they burnt Jewish people or something.
The concentration camps.
So he wanted to see that, and like it's nothing wrong with that, all right? Like he wanted to see, the same as in Ukraine, like a lot of guys wanted to go to Chernobyl, but any Ukrainian lady, like 1% of ladies would be interested in doing that, because we've been living there, and for us it's a tragedy. And I understand, like I'm not blaming the guys. It's interesting to see because it's different. It's something that you
also... It's not a date though.
Yeah, but it's not a date. And so he asked me like, Luba, should I go? I really want to visit. I said, listen, like if you can plan your trip like one day before she arrives, or one day like she will leave and you will stay longer, go ahead. Of course, you're already in Europe, you should do it. But with the lady, I don't think that it is a good idea. Or like some guys really like shooting guns, and some ladies into that, but some ladies like she will not enjoy that whatsoever, and it's not exciting, it's not fun for her. So he's taking this leadership position, but he is not negotiating with her. So in this case, I want to discuss it from the perspective of good leader at work. You know, we can talk about business. So there can be a leader who is only telling everybody what to do, or there's a leader who is like navigating everybody, but he and so everybody hates that leader who is just possessive and tell everybody what to do. And there's another leader who is telling what, you know, that he's negotiating, discussing with people, and making all the team feel comfortable. And so he's the favorite leader. So this is kind of the same. So you have to be in negotiation, but you need to take this leadership position, even if you're traveling to Poland, to Germany, and the lady is already living there. That is also like huge mistake that guys are doing. When they go to Poland and the lady is there for 2 years, he expects that she already knows everything and she should advise and she should plan it. That is wrong, because what you always say, guys are Spielberg's directors of their...
Oh, you're the director of your own film. So if she's coming from somewhere and you're meeting her somewhere, make sure that her trip to you, to the very point that you meet, is all taken care of. Whether it's like getting her from the airport to the hotel or whatever it is, just make sure that that's all taken care of. Because there'll be nothing worse than a woman is excited to come and see you, and then she's waiting in the rain at an airport where there are no taxis and her Uber or whatever doesn't work, and all she can think about is that, why didn't you sort this out? You are the man, you're supposed to be the leader. When you meet her, it will not be how you would imagine it to be. She would be in a bad mood, okay? So just think about that. Every little thing, what can you do to make sure that when she arrives to you, she's had a seamless trip to get there, right? So
Absolutely.
That's part of it as well. Okay, next one.
Number 3. So we see that sometimes guys don't have enough confidence in doing things. So Striker, when we were thinking about this video, you call it like to-do mentality, do it attitude?
Yeah, there's two parts, right? So the first part is thinking that you need to do something. Now let's just take a really simple example, such as helping her with her jacket or her pulling out her chair when you get to the restaurant. Okay, something simple like that. So the first part is you thinking instinctively, oh, I need to do that, right? Just not even I need to do that, you just kind of do that. So that's that part as well. Or maybe you do have to think, okay, don't forget this is new to me, I need to do this, this and this, okay? But the second part is acting on it. Because I think what some men do is they go, I should really help her with her jacket. But I don't know, I've never done, I've never really done that before. In the West, I don't do that. I don't want to do it. And then she like says, get lost. And I feel, you know, so they run through these things in their mind. So they're unsure how to do it. Instead of just taking that, being more confident about it and just doing it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so that's the problem. And it's not necessarily, it's not their fault. It's just that's the way it is in the West. But you have to remember that for the most of the guys, especially if you've been watching our channel for a while, that when you go to do this, you want to step into that other type of relationship. So you have to make that leap yourself. She doesn't have to do anything, right? You're stepping into a relationship with her. You're going to follow her cultural norms when it comes to dating. Later on, she'll adjust to your lifestyle, okay? But for the moment, to make her fall in love, you need to step into that. And you have to consciously do it. And it's definitely out of most men's comfort zone at the start, even though they may want to do it.
The problem is that guys sometimes bringing the baggage, the same as ladies from their past relationship, when they've been rejected, they were not welcome, they were this and this. Your mentality should be completely different. And it's very easy to say, just be confident. But really, guys, nobody gonna blame you or shame you for anything. Even if the lady will not, like how some guys upset that, she didn't reciprocate my hug or she didn't reciprocate my kiss or whatever. So that is part of the journey, and you need to learn, because when the kid start walking, if he's falling, right, and he would fall one time and he will not stand up again and walk, like we all will never walk with you, right? So we have to try again, and we need to try different things, and your mentality really should be like, just do it, because our clients, they don't really have this problem because we're always in touch and you can always ask us this question. So as you know, we have a Telegram community that we invite you guys. So this is a community that we share some inner advices or something that's happening with our clients right now, or guys who are traveling. So all the tips you can meet in this channel. So you're welcome to join. The link is in the description below. But like taking this position where you can ask somebody, should I do it or no? It's very important, because I remember there was one guy, it's a younger guy, and he messaged me, and it was kind of like maybe a bit funny, maybe a bit cute, but that was right that he said that. He was saying something. So in Ukraine, it's a different culture, for example, of a chewing gum. So we don't I just from a childhood a big fan of chewing gum, bubble gum, and etc. So it's not because of the bad breath or anything. Like on the West, I didn't know even that you only chew the chewing gum when it's time to brush your teeth. So the guy was unsure, should he? And so because for me it's I don't like candies, but this is good for me. So and the guy was asking me, should I offer her a chewing gum? Can I offer her chewing gum if I take one? So he wasn't sure about that. That is a little detail, but somebody can really get offended because it's a cultural difference. Somebody will get offended, somebody will not.
So he may offer it and she may think, my breath stinks. Is that what you mean?
No, it's if he will not offer, she will think why he's always,
where's mine?
Where's mine?
But
because we don't have this mentality of you need to brush your teeth if you have a chewing gum. It's chewing gum is just chewing gum, I'm just taking one, would you like one? So you need to be relaxed about things like that. Just do it without worry. But the cultural things are important. And so it's funny, right? It's like a little chewing gum, but it can get a big something. How you call it? Wuha. Okay, so and another one is guys, before they act, before they do something to the lady, they're looking for some signs of confirmation, before they start acting to the lady as a girlfriend.
Yeah, we've had this before, and yeah, so. He would so if he asks a woman out on a date, he goes to meet her, and he will wait for confirmation that she likes him before he really turns up his game, right?
One second. Can I say about the chewing gum? I just want to make sure that the guys understand. Sorry, it just triggered me, because if she would ask you, do I have a bad breath or anything? You should say no, I just got one, so I decided to offer. If you don't want, it's okay, and move on. Sorry, you go ahead. No, it's important. Why if they were confused? I need to provide good advice. Sorry.
Okay, so what were we talking about before chewing gum?
Talking about acting like a girlfriend.
So they're waiting for that confirmation. So sometimes it's like they pull back on their love, we'll say that, or their affection, or their actions with a woman, because it's they don't want to waste them or something, and they think, well, if she's not interested in me, why would I treat her like she's my girlfriend? And this is absolutely wrong. Okay. So I could tell one story, actually. We had one client, and he signed up with us a little while back, a year or two ago, I suppose. And he went and met a woman, and it was in the UK, and it was totally just an absolute mess. He didn't plan anything. He was an hour late or something, even though he lived there, and she'd come to meet him. And it was just an absolute mess. Anyway, he met her, and then he didn't buy her lunch. He bought himself a sandwich or something like that. It was really bad. Anyway, so afterwards we heard about it, of course, and we had a meeting with him, and we said, what was this all about? And he took it really, really poorly, and he was really upset that he felt we were attacking him, but we were basically saying, if a woman comes all this way and he has to wait for you. And he said, but I didn't like her anyway. And I said, well, what does that matter? And he said, well, if I liked her, I would have taken her out for lunch and whatever. And I said, But what you're saying is that because a woman is beautiful, it changes who you are, right? And that's wrong. You should treat her as if, you want to be in a relationship with her. I'm not saying like grab her and hold her or anything like that, but if a beautiful woman can change who you are as a man, then that means that you are a weak man. It means you're not authentic to yourself. So what he should have done is he should have bought her lunch. He shouldn't have been late. He should have treated her well. And then afterwards said, yeah, I don't like her, right? So that's the thing. It's like you need to be your authentic self of who you would be if you were in a relationship or trying to have a relationship with this woman. Don't wait to see if she likes you. Don't wait for the signs because you may miss them, and many men do miss them. You should be how you normally would be with a woman so that she can see who you truly are. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like another mistake that we didn't really list here, but I think that it's important, is like guys are jumping into conclusions super fast. So
Yeah.
the reason, like, I don't want to go too much in details about like that particular couple, but like the reason that he was not attracted to her, because yes, she couldn't hold her emotions when he was like too late and he was like very sweaty in his t-shirt, like he didn't change, and it was like she was waiting for him, so she was like showing her attitude. That is wrong. I'm not justifying her, but she was like, it's not that he was not attracted to her physically, but because she was like kind of like angry with him, or she was moody. So it was a combination of things. But if he would just like relax, just like if he would refresh himself and they would speak and he would apologize or something and not attacking her as well, then a relationship might work. And so sometimes, not even about this situation, but in general, guys are jumping in the conclusion that if the lady is like moved away when the guy were trying to kiss her, then she is not interested, right? And we spoke about this, and there's like plenty of reasons why she turned off her head, and like we have like thousands of stories of that, because maybe the setup was not exactly how she dreamed about, so you need to pursue that again. Or maybe chewing gum was not around, so like something like that. Or maybe like you have an allergy or you have a running nose, or maybe she has and she didn't feel comfortable of like kissing. So like, don't jump into conclusion. Just believe in best, believe in yourself, have confidence, and just go and do it.
And even if it does, like, so you should, I don't know if this makes sense or not, but it's like practice, right? So if you're with a woman and she's not seeming as though it's not that she's not interested. I'm trying to make these two very clear. So if she was on her phone her whole time and you tried to speak to her and she was like, look, I'm busy, get lost, then of course, like, there's not going anywhere. But if she's just sitting there and she's talking to you, but she's not saying a lot because, she doesn't really know what to say, she could still be interested. So why wait to see if she's really interested, right?
Exactly.
Why not just practice dating a woman, right? And you never know, maybe she is like, I'm not sure if I like this guy. But then, because you're so charming and charismatic, she goes, this guy's actually quite nice. So just think about that. Just don't be too sensitive if she's not
exactly how you
jumping on you.
Yeah. Okay.
Jumping on your face. Yeah.
What a fantasy. And the last one for today would be one mistake that both guys and ladies do. They don't set up rules.
Yeah. Rules of the engagement. Rules of the relationship at the start. We talk about this in our Ascend course, which is what our clients do this before they start, so they understand everything. And it's to set the rules down, right? Because you will have misunderstandings. It's the inevitable, right? It's very rare that it doesn't happen. You will overreact. Then something will happen with her, or she will overreact because she thought that you said this, or Google Translate, whatever. And then it all turns to shit, right? Then we've got to fix it. So the rules of the interaction, the start of the relationship, is I am not going to say anything to offend you. If I don't understand anything, I will ask you. And if you don't understand anything, or you're confused, or you think I've said something that's bad, you will ask me. That's the rules, right? It can also be, if when do you want to speak, stuff like that, right? So, but this one is the most important one.
That is important. Like, set up a rule that you not here to hurt each other. And all the most important is that if there's anything that you or her, you need to communicate about that. And another mistake, according to set up rules, is like not deep enough communication, not deep enough conversation. That is like all those mistakes, that you understand that they bringing you to the breakup or not even starting a relationship. And so not having deep conversation, it's really a problem. And a lot of guys struggle how to hold this conversation, what to ask and what to do and how to do. And they don't understand like how to find out more about your and how to make this coconut crack. Because like So how to open up Ukrainian lady. And so for that, Heart Rocket is preparing something.
Well, yeah. Oh,
Preparing something.
are you sure you want to show that?
Yes.
Well, the idea is that so before you meet, you have these kind of conversations, and sometimes they can be a little bit, mundane. Or what's that word in Russian?
Again, food, but
yeah.
so.
The word mundane in Russian.
So, no, don't say it so many
means
times.
see you next Thursday. So that's why I use it all the time now. So yeah, and it's difficult to kind of get onto like a deeper level. And when you meet, it's a lot easier obviously because you can feel each other and see each other and touch each other and all that sort of stuff. But you want to try and get to some of those deeper levels when you are communicating beforehand, right? And you get to learn about the person. What do they like? What sort of interests do they have? What are some things they did as there are memories they had as a child? But it's difficult to just kind of fire those out, and it takes a lot of skill to try and maneuver your way through it. So we decided to come up with this thing here, which is, I don't know if you can see this.
Wait a second, it's unglued a little bit.
Yeah, so we decided to fix that problem.
Don't show this way.
Why?
Because it's unglued.
Well, it's a prototype. I made it out of a shoebox. Just cut a shoebox down, but it's actually a game that you can play. There's no cards in here at the moment. We're waiting for them to arrive. But it's actually a game that you can play with her. Maybe definitely not on the first. They don't know. It's very fragile. It's held together with flour and water as the glue. So we are working on that as well. That's for our clients anyway. So I don't know. Was that a plug? This video was brought to you by affiliate link in the description below.
See you in the next one.
See ya.